This is my stove, which gives me heat, and I estimate there is a week's supply of wood there, especially if I use coal, which I shall be using when this log catches light, and then I can put some coals on it. It's very damp here, and I don't have room for a woodshed, so the hardwood I buy in, I get it because it's cheaper than the kiln dried stuff, with the understanding that I use my stove to dry away the moisture. I do cook on this stove. This frying pan here is too small for, I suppose you could fry an egg or two on that, but I put orange peel as well as other citrus fruit on it, and then it dries out, makes a good fire lighter. I have my novelty fan, which is not warm enough to turn, but when there's a difference of 40 degrees from there to there, it spins round, and that works on the principle of a thermocouple. Two bits of metal, two different temperatures, produce an electric current. One of the nice things about having this hardwood is when I get the stove nice and hot, it will start cooking, and it makes a lovely smell. And I do have to keep an eye on it though, as there's a possibility that I could get it so hot it would ignite. As you can see, I've got some logs there and some bark, which I want to dry out quicker, so that goes there. But even if I was to put a full bed of coal in there, it wouldn't last for more than 3 hours. Unfortunately, my stove is not airtight. I don't mind, so I can't regulate the air intake into it, but I can regulate it by moderating how much fuel I put in at one go. And speaking of which, you need to poke. You don't really poke a wood fire, but this isn't large enough just to be a purely wood fire, so I will have to use coal at some point. But anyway, I'm going to put in a damp log, so pop that one in. And as you can see, because there's not much room in there, that log isn't touching any of the embers, so it will eventually light because there's a good draft, it's pulling well. Yeah, I do cook on this stove. I've done soups and stews, I've fried bread and bacon and eggs, and I've even done a steak on it, although you have to get it really hot for it, and if I get enough coal that's hot enough to fry a steak, this room becomes uncomfortably hot. I can have the windows and doors all open, and even then it will be over 25 degrees, which is okay if you're in a sunny country and you kind of get used to it, but in this country 25 degrees, especially with the ambient humidity in the air, it's not pleasant. No, it's not. Wood is sold by volume, not weight, so I don't mind ordering the heavier hardwood, which hasn't been treated, it hasn't been cooked, so there's still a lot of moisture in it. It is green wood, and that is what I'm burning there. with the understanding that when I put coal onto it, it will drive the moisture out, and then by the end of the week I will have some good bone dry logs which I can use to start a fire, and then put a bed of I can put some coals on it, which will then become a bed of hot coals. But yeah, compared to gas, it's not as cheap. Compared to heating oil, it's about comparable. If you're using coal as opposed to wood, it is cheaper. But there are laws being introduced to make everything more unpleasant, with a ban on smoke emitting coal. So you'll be able to use anthracite, and you'll be able to use petroleum based solid fuel briquettes, which to me seems like a madness, but there you have it. This is the 21st century, and I'm trying to keep what's the word I'm looking for? One of the best ways of keeping history alive is to make it part of our everyday lives, and there is nothing more ancient and more important than a fire. And I need this fire. If I don't have it, I will be cold. So it's not just a decorative piece. I mean, it is decorative. I rather like the styling of it, and I sometimes sit in the corner of my room just admiring the dance of flames over wood. Coal doesn't really do that. It's quite boring in comparison to wood, which is why I get wood, because it entertains me. And as I said, there is nothing more ancient. It is probably the first technology humanity ever utilised. So it's a good thing to have. Although I must admit, I would really love a domesticated fireplace, a gas boiler, central heating, and you can just turn the heat on at the touch of, not even the touch of a button. You can have it thermostatically controlled, and just the fire ignites automatically. And it's certainly a lot easier to clean than that. Oh look, here we are. Finally, the fan. There must be a difference in. I can show you what the difference is. Let's show you the difference. Down there, 67 degrees, and then up there, 21 degrees. So about 40-degree difference. And in my room, it is currently 14 degrees, which is not pleasant. So that is why I need a fire. Thank you for watching. You may now go away.